there. So it will be the Akali ban to open us up. None of that.
Yeah, no Akali means that makes it a lot easier in first pick. You don't have to immediately go towards a Ryze or LeBlanc to just kind of prep the pick. Makes sense here. I would say if you're Pakistan, you want.
Guys, if you're watching this game, this is 2018 Asia Games, the second day for League of Legends. We're watching Taipei versus Pakistan, and then I currently live in LA, North America. And if you have any question in English, just feel free to ask, and I'll answer your questions. But majority of the time, I will answer the question in Chinese because we have most viewers here are Chinese, so they're gonna ask a lot of questions, and I'm here to answer their questions as well. 我想说一下，他刚刚只是现在在说 BP 我们可以看到这个BP 大家自己看得懂啊，估计看得比我更懂一点。有什么问题的话呢，如果你们想要我翻译某个地方的话呢，可以直接跟我说哈，我会给大家这个精心的翻译。我们继续看比赛啊。
I wonder if the Nocturne actually gets left open. Nocturne is just a great pick post 6, but it really puts ownership on a team once you do hit 6 to make plays happen. Because if a Nocturne doesn't utilize the windows level 6 to let's say level 8, then he starts to really become useless as the game goes on. He's going to be a lot more in terms of utility, so you need to make use of the pick during the laning phase.
Yeah, I mean, we know that from the LPL. Typically, we do have supports coming through, which will facilitate that coming forward. But Shen going to be the ban out here from Pakistan. See if they follow it with some more support bans from here on out.
Oh, Shen being banned out. Perhaps this actually could be an assassination composition coming out of Pakistan. It just depends on what their prep is here, because Shen is a great flex pick once again. You don't want to, at this point, honestly, it's not going to be on PK. They're expecting that to be a sword art pick here, so it can have the kill bottom lane. So Shen being banned out means that perhaps Pakistan coming into this game wants to make use of one of their counter picks to be an assassin.
Yeah, Varus going to be the final ban coming out of Chinese Taipei, which means that we're going to see something different, at least from one of the 280 code. We're going to have to see something different, because both Ashe and Varus have been banned. So neither of these bot lanes have shown anything different so far. So I know that they want to secure something early. What's still open that's high priority here?
So Swain and Ezreal comes to mind. They're not high priority at all. If I'm looking at high priority, I would say you should just probably go towards either a Nocturne, a Kindred. But remember, it just depends if you want to go Kindred or Trundle in the matchups. So we've been seeing a lot of Trundles. But if I'm Pakistan, I actually want to go towards the Kindred a little bit more. Knowing that if you pick Kindred, the enemy team will have a Trundle and Alistar is a little bit threatening. But then you should be a little bit more confident in the fact that your bottom lane can now have a good counter pick support now. So in this instance, you can just go Tahm Kench. I think that would be a really nice pickup for Pakistan.
Yeah, Tahm Kench, for sure. I mean, we've already seen it coming out of Zen's hand, but especially if you're picking something like a Kai'Sa up immediately, alongside it, you probably do want like a little bit of protection. We'll see what it's going to be there. Yep.
I'm a little surprised that the Kai'Sa came out really early. I know that there are a lot of 80 carry picks still up and available. They just wanted the priority pick, knowing that both Varus and Ashe were banned out. It really puts a light onto Jisatsu carry, that recognizing that if these three carries are not presented to him, that he wouldn't have anything. That being said, the Yasuo being picked out immediately by Chinese Taipei puts their strategy just out there. It's like, hey, we know exactly what we're doing. Alistar?
我是想我知道我们在看这个比赛哈，然后我这里说一下，好像有很多人给我反映啊，就是我们在 chat 里面啊，在聊天室里面不要说省队这个说法了，好吧？因为政治话题我们不要讨论，任何带有政治色彩的话题我们都不要讨论。如果说这个词继续被提出呢，我们会直接先禁言。如果再次提出呢，我们会尝试去办你的号，好吧？谢谢大家的合作，我们好好看比赛。
It's actually going to be a PK pick just because he wants to look to split up a little bit more. But then the Nocturne lock-in is actually incredibly smart. If you find yourself in a 1-3-1 position, Nocturne makes it impossible for a side laner to actually extend past the point of comfort. But if you expand past River, you have a Nocturne on your team. Yasuga Kozama should be really comfortable knowing that he can have a 2v1 situation just like that.
Yeah, Nocturne as well, plus the fact that we've seen Gragas being picked up, so it's pretty unlikely he's going to be facing into a Kindred now. So also a lot harder to protect against that one. Cho'Gath going to be banned out here by Pakistan. Galio as well, makes sense right now, just trying to cut away all the ability for the mid laner to move to those side lanes. But still toggling locally, we know that he does favor some of those more assassin-y type picks as well, so there's still stuff like a Talon open if he wants to look for those roams anyway.
Yeah, one of the successful games that they had yesterday versus Indonesia was based off the Galio pick. That's why Chinese Taipei banning it picking up the Yasuo is a big gauntlet toss to say, we'll actually challenge you in laning phase. Not even seeing what Betty and Sword Art have picked out here. Yeah, sure. I mean, Alistar gets picked up, but the bottom lane as a whole, Betty can pick up an Ezreal and start poking up the matchup. Perhaps a Caitlyn now that we're in second phase and start poking out the matchup. He can actually just go straight for the dominant lane matchup, knowing that sure, Alistar may have a bad pick versus the Tahm Kench, but you have the range of an Ezreal. That's all you have to really play towards. I like holding your AD carry for second phase, especially for Betty because he does have a larger room.
Yeah, we're going to have a Kennen ban coming out here towards the top lane, and then Xayah following through as the final one towards Betty. I want to see that one alongside the Alistar. I've already played it so far in the tournament as well. And Orianna, I mean, yeah, Toxic only not doing anything crazy right here. Of course, you've got synergy with Nocturne. Pretty difficult to pull off, I might add, but still going to pick it up here.
Synergy for Nocturne, also protection for the Kai'Sa as well, so it's just a lot of flexibility that you have with the Orianna pick alone in team fights, not even making a mention of the fact that you can just throw out your orb and hopefully just push the enemy team back. All right, so that is definitely a pick that's interesting.
That's definitely a Karthus, right?
That's definitely a Karthus going bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, again, it seems like...
对于刚来的朋友哈，我想说一下，这个是亚运会的实况转播，然后我们现在看的是直播，现在是台北打巴基斯坦台北打巴基斯坦，然后今天会有中国队打韩国队的复仇赛，所以说大家坚持到最后啊，和我们一起来看这个比赛。然后中间如果有人做广告呢，或者说是就是说说任何有政治色彩的这个话题啊，会被我们直接去禁言，谢谢大家合作。
Major problems here is actually getting poked out lane and having the early pressure is just not available to her. Karthus makes a lot of sense here. So you're just expecting Chinese Taipei to have a lot of shove potential into bottom lane, mid lane. And since the Ornn is actually being hovered over, you're expecting the Gnar to go top lane. So Chinese Taipei has very good lane matchups here.
Yeah, they do indeed. Ornn's going to run out here for Pakistan. Have typically seen them go towards a relatively wholesome, team fight composition. Later round out with a tank in the top lane as well. So yeah, nothing crazy coming out of Pakistan, though I feel like a lot of people's eyes are going to be locked on that Karthus and how it's going to do in laning phase.
Here we go, and we've all got into the proper lane, so it's going to be morning on the Yasuo mid lane. And to your point, I think it's going to be a large spotlight shining on how Pakistan actually ends up preparing their team fights. Because if they get locked to lanes for a good 10 minutes, then bad luck, you're probably going to have a goal disadvantage going this.
中国和韩国的这个比赛啊，会在这个3个小时以后，中国3个小时以后开始，这是预计时间，但是我们也不能准确的给这个时间啊，所以说大家敬请期待，好吧？一般呢，我们知道上次这个时间给的也不准啊，所以说只是说大概啊，在3个小时以后，所以我们现在看到的是台北和这个巴基斯坦啊，我们为台北队加油。
Has potential just to shove that one in all day.
还有今天不是我一个人哈，如果说你想投机取巧，说1-2句这个不该说的话呢，我现在有几个杀手啊，有城管在的这个房间里面，好吧？我们的城管会及时把你禁言啊，所以说大家注意啊，这个友好观战啊 ，Let's make love not war，OK？、去制造爱而不是制造战争，好吧？
Out the lane and tries to chip out turret. It's actually very difficult. Knowing that the Tahm Kench flash Q is available, that Nocturne's going to have his eyes on the bottom lane. And if Toxic and Lovely can actually shove out the matchup, then they can look spot. That being said, the graphic does have the Yasuo going bottom lane. I think that's an error because we actually saw what the champion select looked like. Yeah. We'll see when we get into the actual game itself. It will change things up drastically if the Yasuo does go bottom.
Oh yeah, yes it will. But I will say, strike one for the player place. It's a win-win situation.
Look, I'll take that out. I'm not afraid. We'll have to see though.
We take a lot of bets on air, and typically I'm the loser, so we'll see if this one actually happens. Yeah, getting onto the routine.
He's so confident that Betty's just going to be focusing on actual AD carries.
Hey, you sold me, man. I was like, I immediately came in, it's like, hey, it could be actual
I'm confident, man.
Yeah, I mean, you came with that counter argument. I was like, heck yeah, Rad's got to be 50% right.
I think it was like week 4. I said the same damn thing about Jackie Love too. And then he locked in the Yasuo. So you don't know if they've actually been prepping.
Yeah.
You don't know if these players
are
been playing in the off time.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Again, this is a big game for Pakistan if they want to try and make their way to the second place in this group. Now, hold off your cheers, folks, because we're not into game just yet.
I'll just take the
We're just teasing you.
Look, I've already lost. It's Yasuo bottom lane. Change things
Incredible.
up. It changes things up that now Yasuo Alistar is going to be the lanes you look at. Once you hit 6, actually it's going to be super difficult for a Kai'Sa once she gets shoved into the lane, throw up a wind wall. You're going to have to try and.
我们今天也是属于是开门红啊，一上来这个就出了机械故障。然后呢，我有几个热情的观众跟我说一下，就说现在台湾的阵容是更加好的，家世有伤害。然后这里是 shout out， 就是给这个 Barry Godlike 做一个感谢他的这个提出的这样一个分析啊。然后巴基斯坦的很考验中单的发育啊，还有技术。所以说大家在这个聊天框里面可以聊一下，就是你们觉得现在哪边的阵容更好呢？你们更支持哪一个队伍，对吧？好，我们游戏开始了。
I've been wrong a little bit today. I'm okay.
You're 0 for 1, Raz, so we'll try and make it 1-on-1, shall we?
Throw that one on a graphic. Get that one in the stand.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen a Karthus mid lane. I mean, I've had my fair share of Karthus in the bottom lane in the marksman position, but not so much in the mid lane. As you said, you'll have global pressure, but it's kind of the same thing as like, you know, Karthus jungle, where it's like, I can gank 3 lanes at the same time, let's go. But also you have more AP early because you're going to have gold funneled into you. So, I don't know, I just want to see how this Karthus is, to be honest.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say, early, not good. Karthus Gragas. Perhaps you can throw down the wall and have the Gragas come in. But right now, I like the fact that Team Pakistan has good mid lane jungle push. Orianna should do well by pushing up in the lane. Nocturne with lethal tempo, if he ever meets on a Gragas, should be able to get the longer trade. And definitely once you hit 6, the damage is going to be there for Orianna and Nocturne. As I'm saying that, I'm just looking at the HP. Orianna does not have a lot of HP right now. Just putting that out there. I know we're not looking at the lane, but on the side of the bar, definitely losing out in HP.
Yes, indeed. Deep Vision on his way towards the mid lane, the classic level 2 blue buff Nocturne gank, and coming in behind Morning, but maybe he's right there, he's just chilling. It's like, what's going on, Nocturne? Have a body slam, and actually you have to burn your flash, because you completely caught with his pants down.
Very strong counter gank. He knew that he had to protect Karthus. He was getting a good trade in the mid lane that we didn't get to see, but it was actually shoving out the lane. So just very vulnerable, and he didn't want Morning to be immediately in a flashless position. So just having a good eye on him, maybe having a good read on Deep Vision.
Yeah, Deep Vision will take his Raptor camp right here and probably have to go straight back to base. He lost a lot of health from that, had to burn through all his refillables. Now allows access for Bebe to go into the enemy jungle. Wait, the red buff, he was like, actually, maybe I just heard him too much. He's probably going to go back to base. I can just take away this red buff for free.
Yeah, good idea. A few bully junglers will just try and wait at the bike racks for a little bit too long. He gets to 4 p.m. You're like, what are you actually doing? I thought you're supposed to be making a direct path from your class to the bike racks. That's what actually was mentioned. Not the case here. So Bebe just immediately stealing out the red, has the experience. Oh!
That's a nice knock up into the bottom lane, but will be returning damage right here, just had to be carried. They're going to be relatively fine. I mean, fine is definitely a sliding scale, shall we say.
So Zensan using his shield immediately, not a good idea. They weren't going to continue to push on him, so he kind of needed that HP back. He wasn't going to be able to get it. Here comes the gank though.
Yeah, low health on this Null right now. Kazama, wow, that's even harder for me to say. A lot of syllables. Yeah, Nocturne moving to the top side. That's going to be a dust bringer onto Bebe. Chasing him down with unspeakable horror. Going to force the flash out.
Well done from D-Visions. The worry here was that the flash being burnt by the top lane Orange, the top lane push coming through, would it be really good for PK had they looked for a second game? Wasn't the case coming around, so that's just a good challenge from D-Visions.
Yep.
You know, I enjoy the conversations that we have.
Yeah, me too, Raz. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm on Struggle Street right now. Hold on.
Alright, that's fair, that's fair. I'll let you go. I will say though, Bebe taking blue buff here. I already mentioned the fact that he was in an experience advantage. Of course, him burning flash is a little bit of a worry because that's how his ganks actually come out quite easily, is by baiting flashes mid. Not going to happen now. You can't bait when you don't have a flash yourself, so body slam has to be in a good spot. So, I like what I'm seeing here. That being said, another headbutt falls combination come down here.
Yeah, headbutt pulverize onto 2. Ignite going down onto Satsu carry. Bessie turning around, tries to land the tornado there, doesn't quite connect. Now being chased down by the Tamken. Looking for the overextend though. Nice return with the headbutt pulverize. I mean, such a long chase, still got that one back up. Gonna find first blood.
The most damaging part about that was just the fact that the mid lane, or at least the bottom lane wave, was actually piling up massively. No cannon wave here too, so he's actually just going to lose this straight experience. Really unfortunate here for the bottom lane of Pakistan.
Yeah, Deep Vision's going to be picking up the rest of this minion wave. Should be okay on this one. We'll cut out the rest of this minion wave. But still, just winning that 2 versus 2 with the Yasuo Alistair right there. I mean, at the very least, you'd expect him just to be poked down in that lane, but did not happen. He managed to just win the all-in. Now, Bebe actually in this 1 versus 2. Still just contesting the ground right here, 1 versus 3. Just doesn't even care. Morning stepping up with the Carthus as well. As you don't expect the classic Carthus roam from mid lane.
Yeah, real good pressure from the adjacent lanes to allow Bebe to go in. So I really love the fact what Chinese Taipei is doing here. Just the bottom lane advantage that they had here on towards Jisatsu carry, immediately transitioning into the enemy jungle.
Yeah, Bebe is just going to clear out the rest of the wards right here. And go back into his jungle. He's going to be totally fine with this one and look for a full clear. So yeah, Chinese Taipei just after a strong start in this game. And it's pretty much what we expected, right? We were talking about Pakistan. It's like we wanted to see them get some advances early, try and win out some of these lanes, maybe see some ganks coming out from our Nocturne. But it just seems like Bebe has just been 1 step ahead of him every single time. And
that's what I kind of prefaced the game here with. That Nocturne could make a lot of magic happen, but he needed to be undetected really early on. But now it's actually gone, you know, the goalpost has moved over. Undetected to now having to challenge for his own camps. Blue buff is going to be challenged here, but he's moving from his top side, red side, to actually challenge. It's already gone. So Orianna's going to be losing out, doesn't even have the mana here, so she's going to have to base. So it's just compiling pressure here from the side of Chinese Taipei that the lanes are not helping out Nocturne, so Nocturne cannot help out the lanes. So Toxic and Ugly are going to be having a difficult lane versus the Karthus.
Yeah, and it's just a struggle streak across the board right now because you've got essentially a losing matchup at top side. The Nas constantly going to be pushing in, chunking down the Ornn, plus getting that CS advantage. And it's just, it's hard across the board. So you're probably looking towards mid-game.
Get a situation, if you are in a 2v2, if Bebe does come top side, that you can get a favorable fight here, knowing that Gragas still needs to get his own flash from the last time they fought.
Yeah, just going to push in the rest of this wave into the bottom side again. This Yasuo just feeling really good. It's going to be Null ultimate landing into the wall, knocks him against the wall as well. In comes the Ornhorn, and he's got the Nocturne behind him, chasing him down the unspeakable horror. He's getting instantly de-Meganard. That's just going to be a straight kill. Nice bait, but in the bottom lane, a 4-man collapse going into this one. Gobble up, all the focus down onto the Tamken, tries to spit and wait to safety. And yeah, they're going to give up the ghost on this one. They're pretty happy just to find this 1 kill and put damage onto this tower.
There we go. It's a trade, but that's what Pakistan actually needed. We already made a mention that the top side would be a play that Deep Visions could go for. He made it happen. But that being said, they need to play slowly now, knowing that the bottom lane tower going in favor of Chinese Taipei. I mean, you have to play a slow roll in. You have to try and match bottom lane. Kai'Sa's waiting in the inner bush. So as long as she can come out, get a push out, and then look to try and make a plan around the mid lane, then Chinese Taipei won't immediately have the advantage to then push the mid lane tower.
Pushing into this bottom lane right now, and it's just across the board really. Chinese Taipei just pulling away with this game. Toxic and Ugly just on the wrong side of town right now. No mana, getting chased out. This is just going to be a slow, painful death. I mean, I appreciate you, Toxic and Ugly.
Yeah, I saw that.
Trying to come in with the flash bait. He's like, I've got wolves. Unfortunately, he had that pre-warded, so unlucky.
Yeah, putting the ward down. Well done. End of the day, just gotta accept your death. It's a tough call, especially since he was trying to make a lot happen while the Karthus was out of lane. But if you play it too long, that's the result. I didn't expect the Gnar to be coming to the top side at the very least. So he thought he had at least one way out of there.
Yeah.
Not possible.
I'm just saying, go down in the blaze of glory. At the very least, if you're gonna die, do it in style. That's what I'm saying. Don't work well. Now we're going to move towards the Infernal Dragon, first one of the game over to them. Pretty early as well onto the clock, just about to cross the 10-minute mark. And everything just seems to be going their way currently. It's just a collapse into the bottom lane, looking to transition that pressure now into Dragon. And pretty soon I'm expecting probably a Herald play as well.
Yeah, so you know me. I like that. It's a good test for that's it. Knowing that they're going to have some competition throughout the game. yesterday. Best way to do it is through Rift Trail, as you mentioned. Of course, use the replay. Places a ward down just because he knew that he needed to walk Orianna down. Orianna was so focused on making the play happen, didn't get an idea that the ward was actually placed right next to him.
Yep.
So it makes the flashy play, ended up losing out a lot.
I mean, it's one of those times where you look like you have egg on your face, but the one time it works, it's like, but the montage is real for the rest of my career. So it's worth a shot, I'm saying. That shield coming down will be able to protect him out from the Requiem coming down out from morning.
It's interesting. So you already see Pakistan coming in for a top lane defense because of how much that top lane tower was chipped. So I made a mention that this Rift Herald, a part of this test, a part of the examination, if you will, that they can actually use that Rift Herald bottom lane. I would be surprised if they don't actually just take that, go top lane, get the tower, and then use the Rift Herald as it goes in towards the top lane inner tower, and then just pick up the rest of your team and go mid. That should be, I would say, 13, 14 minute just outer turrets all enabled for Chinese Taipei.
Now recall to base right there. And yeah, just looking for change-ups in lane assignments. Send Benny and Soldat to the top lane. Continue to push this one down. And we see the same match coming out from Pakistan, but we've seen previously that they can't really stand toe-to-toe with this lane. Especially if Baby finds his way towards the top side of the map right here. So it seems like it will just be the slow, inevitable death right now as each lane gets pushed in.
And it just feels bad for the junglers especially, because Nocturne is great when you have that snowball going, but feels incredibly useless when the game just doesn't work in your favor. Let's see if they can get the tick across.
Right into the middle of the fray. That's going to be a nice double pulverize into a double knockback coming out from Bebe. Tosses out the barrel, doesn't even need that one to connect because there's so much damage coming out from Betty. He'll have to flash away though. Bebe, trapped in place, flashes over the wall, currently with the numbers advantage, and back into the fight with a huge body slam coming through, and now Carver's into the fight, ready to mop up the mess right now. Toxin Ugly falls to Betty. 4 kills to Chinese Taipei.
They made the attempt happen though, they challenged for the vision ward, but didn't see that Gragas was still in the area. So he made the base, ran all the way back top, and now feels even worse for Pakistan. Team fight victory immediate to a Rift Herald mid lane. This is going to be a quick one. Pakistan's fighting hard, but as I mentioned, if you're deep visions, you're the Nocturne here, you have a lot of AD, but you're actually getting out damaged, and you're getting blown up immediately in these team fights.
I mean, it looked good. Pakistan had the numbers for a large portion of the fight, and it's actually funny, someone getting blocked out there, but mid lane, 2 towers down from that push, coming in from Chinese Taipei, and I mean, even in the team fights at the points in time, that's one of the team fights you're looking towards and be like, this is something that they potentially win if you're Pakistan.
So the only pick potential you have here is through the E from Nocturne, but he can get the fear across. Tom Kent can't really provide too much in terms of just outright CC if they're focusing one carry down. That was essentially the demise. They go on that one target, but of course you can see Gragas coming in and out of the fight, and then you just have that much AoE in your team fight. Sure, the Orianna ulti came out later, a little bit too late, in favor of Chinese Taipei.
Really, that just felt like the beginning of the end. You know, we had the foreshadowing at the start, like, you know, Arc 1 and Arc 2 was, all right, now's the time. You know, you want to see the team fight come out from Pakistan. This is what your composition is built for. This is the time where you can shine before, you know, all of the gold and all of the objectives start just cascading and falling down, going with Chinese Taipei. But even that one didn't work out. You're looking for that burst damage coming from the Nocturne, the combo coming out of the Toxic as well. But this wasn't to be the case. And Carthus just came at the end, pretty much just swept up the mess. He managed to pick himself up a kill and 2 assists. Looking pretty good about life, already picked up a Rod of Ages.
Ooh, the fact that they're just getting more eyes on the Nocturnes, just closing out the possibilities for Pakistan. Because what he wants to do is still have an eye on these side lanes. That if he does see Yasuo pushing on his own, then you can look for a fight there. You look towards the bottom side, maybe he can get a card that's just you know, moseying out on his own as well. PK got picked up really early on in the game. So these are possibilities that Pakistan is trying to make happen. It's just so difficult with how cleanly Chinese Taipei are currently playing.
Yeah, pretty solid defense and offense coming out from them. Only a single death to their name in the top side from that gank. The rest of it. I mean, look at this. I mean, there's literally a Carthus pushing into your inner tower right now, looking for the gank. Force the flash out, Toxin Ugly. Even throws in the party cask. 50 minutes on the clock, looking for a gank into the bottom side. Again, trying to pick out the Gnar, picking on the poor mini Gnar, man. But in comes the rest of the team. They're not very happy that you're picking on our tiny Yordle. We've been picking up that kill, 1 for 2 trade now into the bottom side looking for this tower. And they're just taking so much everywhere in the map right now.
Gank squad. I mean, at this point, fact that Chinese Taipei
Yeah, they're dead.
got a whiff of what was happening bottom lane. PK at least saved himself some time, flashing over the wall, making it so Nocturne actually gets to chase him down. They got the kill, but then they lost their lives for it. So yeah, it feels like no right can be done wrong. I feel like Pakistan are still making the right calls here. This late into the game, when you're this far behind, you have to be checking these players in the sidelines. So good idea to go for it. It's just unfortunate that they're so clean, so of course, damn tight towards the mid lane that they can actually easily make their own bot line.
Yeah, what's sad as well is if that was maybe 1 or 2 more seconds, Nell probably would have survived as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a knock up into a knockback and so much CC that they didn't even hit the ground. They were still dead mid-air, so yeah, literally difference of a couple nanoseconds. But still, they'll definitely take that trade. That was a bottom lane tower, plus 2 kills. Another fight into the jungle and just caught sleeping or just walking into the jungle. That's not your jungle.
And not sure why he's there just yet. Know how long he has to walk for the wave where Nar currently is. So they keep getting caught out here. It's actually going to be really difficult for them to hold one of these inhibitor towers. Right now, Chinese Taipei should just simple and clean have these side lanes worked out. Yasuo in top lane, Nar in the bottom lane. The fear initially was the Nocturne being able to get a jump on them, but at this point, the items are there. Phantom Dancer, Infinity Edge from Yasuo just being picked up. Nar has the Phage, and he's actually moving on towards the second item. He's in a good position if he gets the Mega Gnar to actually 2v1. That's the situation right now. So Pakistan, a winnable point, put them in 2v1 scenarios. It's actually just not possible.
Yeah, second item IE, that's definitely feels bad, man. And he's so far ahead as well that he doesn't necessarily need the tankiness coming in from like a Sterex or anything like that in terms of a survival item. So you definitely will look for these 1 versus 2s. And I'm looking at combinations in which he can win that 1 versus 2. And I think it's pretty much everybody.
Yeah, you would actually have to bring in the Kaisa, since he has a Grunzus, to actually make that somewhat winnable. And even then, the Kaisa actually has to play it perfectly. Because then you're just putting in a squishy 80 carry in the mix when you have the Yasuo just trying to find anybody to get his ultimate across. So, that is the worry here if you're trying to pick out Betty. Challenge his Yasuo mechanics. Say, if you haven't played that much Yasuo, maybe you're just trying to style in it.
It's been a good life for the Scarfs as well. He's just gone from lane to lane, farming up like a Roomba. And Sportsum's team basically does the same thing. Hasn't really need to make any flashy plays. Do nothing crazy because the side lanes did exceptionally well. Bebe was crushing the jungle.
Yep.
4-0-4.
It just shows great communication. The matchup should be decent for Nocturne. But then it just comes down to the fact that Bebe is calling in Morning, calling in Betty when they're going in for a blue buff pick. And then when they're going top side, of course, has good comms. So PK is always knows where his jungler is coming from. So this is just things that you have to actually pick out when you see Chinese Taipei go up against the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, for an example.
I'm just trying to draw the line in the sand right here at the base, at the inhibitor towers. That will be a tough shout. I mean, we're not even at the 20-minute mark, and we're looking to set up a potential win here for Chinese Taipei. Baron hasn't even spawned yet, so are we just pushing in all lanes at the same time? Probably
yeah.
For a back. I reckon there's probably a good amount of gold in the back pocket to a lot of these players.
Look, I'm just saying right now, Chinese Taipei is failing the Raz test. The Raz test is to push it to the limit, all right? You are at 19 minutes into the game, go for a bot lane. Try something. At this point, make it so it's a training regimen, because at this point, when you're hammering it in, you don't have to wait for a 20-minute mark to pick up Baron. That's lame. I'm putting that out there immediately. I'm calling you guys out.
That's fair. I mean, I do think some of that.
这个解说啊，现在正在这个说台北队啊，现在应该去拿 Baron 了，拿大龙。他觉得不拿大龙的话很怂啊，他觉得现在这个这样的优势啊，现在应该去拿大龙了啊，不拿大龙他太怂了。我记得当时玩这个，现在有亚索哈，这个快乐风男，我记得当时玩的时候每次还会配音。我记得最开始玩这个英雄联盟的时候啊，什么哈萨克，对啊，我们一起待会儿见证啊，见证这个亚索这个哈萨克的时刻，好吧？
Clean as they are, you can try and push it so you know that by the end of the day, we're going to have to be in a best of 3. It should be a good practice for us. We got another pick out here.
He's dead, Jim.
Yes, he is. That's the verdict. Put the white chalk down there.
Yeah. We already know what the cause of death was. But
I don't know, actually. There's a lot of factors in there. It was that. Headbutt, pulverized, possibly.
Yeah, it was just a lot of damage. No, I mean, I do agree with you though. I mean, especially when you're looking at a hopeful for someone to potentially go into not only semis but potentially take the entire tournament.
Yeah.
You want to see teams push as far as they can go, because if you're gifted a situation like this into a team like Republic of Korea or People's Republic of China, you're like, damn straight you'll go for that play, because that is potentially how you're going to go for it. I'm looking at you, Tamken. Do it. All right. In that situation, that's the pulse test. It's like just go with the wall. Give it the 1 in 1 million chance that the tongue is going to hit.
I don't think he wants a 1 in 1 million KDA. I'm just putting it out there. He doesn't want to die.
It's just
that
one more
much.
death, man. What's one more death to potentially swing in the game and prolong it because you just got a Baron buff?
Yeah, I mean, you just
Just
had
saying.
those highlight reels in mind. I
That's
can
true.
respect that.
That's
I
true.
can respect that.
I mean, Toxic Mungly, man after my own heart, he tried it early in this game. Didn't work out.
He has one more attempt. He has a stopwatch in tow. So, I mean, if we're just looking for one last team fight, which is what seems like Chinese Taipei are trying to look for to end the
Well,
game.
they're all grouped. They have the combo,
waiting.
Nocturne and Oriana.
I'm just waiting for the Orange Horn.
It's a short-range ultimate as well. Nice block out on that barrel, but it's immediately in with the Alistair, straight into the Yasuo. It's going to be an absolute massacre right here. It's not even going to be close. Everybody just dying left, right, and center from Pakistan. And Jizatsu Carry didn't even have a chance to fire off a shot. There you go, there it is at the very end there. But Bebe leading the rest of his team towards this tower. On to the Nexus itself.
这是要一波啦，一波啦！我连痛离开头都没看到啊！我觉得当时你说这个骚男啊，当时看这个骚男的直播啊，好搞笑啊！还有这个6666666。